people.
Absolutely.
Actually, the very successful people, often they are neurodivergent.
Yeah.
They know how to use it, and they use it well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think, what I was wondering also when we'll see who comes in. So are your audience mostly, I guess they're mostly French speaking, are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
my audience, because I work in French, so my audience is French speaking.
Yeah.
But I do. So I train a lot in English, and so and I end up participating in podcasts and lives and so on in English, even if I have a French speaking audience.
Brilliant.
But
Okay.
most people they speak English, so it's not really
Yeah,
dramatic.
which makes us English quite lazy. So anybody that speaks English, we don't bother to learn any other languages.
But so I see this. So I'm Portuguese from Portugal.
Okay.
So even if there are a lot of people in the world speaking Portuguese, it's not like a big language like English or French or Spanish, where so there's a lot of people speaking it. So the thing is, and then you have, for example, everything that is television or whatever, the videos and so on, it's often in English. So you don't really have to make an effort to learn something else because it's like a big language.
Yeah.
And in French, for example, and in Spanish television, it's doubled. So again, you don't have to make an effort. And I did have, I made an effort.
Yeah.
Because everything was subtitled. So, and also you get used to listen to different languages when
If you're hearing it all the time, it's a lot easier. So hello to Deborah and hi Kaz, who's just joined. So
Hello.
So anyway, Kaz knows me. I don't know about Deborah, but my name's Sue Reed. So my publication is Confidence Matters. So I'm a confidence coach. So basically that's what I coach. That's what I talk about. That's kind of my area of expertise, if you like. And today I'm with Raquel Deville, who is doing her first live. Yay! But she's used to being on camera, so it's not that she's not camera shy. So do you just want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
So I'm Raquel Deville, as you said. I'm a therapist, a somatic therapist, meaning that I mainly work with the body, not a body worker in the sense that I massage or whatever. And I specialize in trauma and neurodiversity. So I work a lot with trauma, but also autism and ADHD.
Okay.
And I work mainly with women. So I really specialize on that. Women, ADHD, autism, and trauma.
Yeah. Okay. Well, was there a particular reason why you chose neurodivergent then?
It's self-discovery.
Okay.
So it's so while studying trauma, I ended up also learning about neurodiversity, and then I went really deep into the subject because, well, as a woman, so now it's different, but 10 years ago or even 20 years ago, we didn't talk about it much. And it's very recent for example, to know that actually women are autistic as well or ADHD. And it was not common knowledge. So we thought it was mainly boys due to the way it was studied. And there was a lot to learn. And so I learned a lot about myself and also my family, so my husband and my kids, because we are all kind of neurodivergent in different places in the cloud of neurodiversity. And that's how I got there. It's like my personal experience that allowed me to study and then specialize on it.
Yeah, I get that. Do you think most people are somewhere in the neurodivergent spectrum?
So the term neurodivergent, it's kind of a statistical concept. So I think we are all different. And so if we talk about diversity, like biodiversity, so we are all diverse, we are all different. So as we are different physically, also the way of functioning is different. So I would say that everybody is different, one person from the other. And then you have like groups of person that are more similar than others.
Yeah.
I don't know if this answers the question.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I mean, I think it's a big question, because I think, like, when I look at myself, I've never been tested. We do have autism in my family to some extent. Whether it's hereditary or not, I don't know. But when I look at myself, I can see like little things that I do that maybe I think, is that some kind of ADHD type of thing? So I'm very I like to know exactly what I'm doing. I'm very what's the word? I like systems, and I like everything to be in the right place. I don't like a wonky picture. So little things like that. I've got a little bit of OCD. And I don't like change. I really, really can't cope with change. And so it just makes me think, am I? But then I also don't believe in labeling people. So like you say, I think we're all different, and we can
Exactly.
that.
And the thing is that we have like this concept of normal and divergent.
Yeah.
And what is normal, right?
Exactly.
And what is divergent? So the thing, these are kind of basically social constructs. And yeah, so I don't know, every person is a person with the way the person is, and that's fine. But however, there are some things that are similar in certain groups of people. So perhaps you will get along better with someone that is really organized and really squared, and like
my husband is not at all.
I neither. I cannot say this out loud. And no, but I really need to have things tidy. So it's really my thing, and I organize stuff alphabetically, like CDs and books. And for me, it's normal. I've been doing this my whole life because I need order. So is this because I'm neurodivergent? No, for me, it's how you do it. But so I see a question from Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Nice to see
Hi,
you.
Nicole. Do you think there is any value in doing formal testing? I wouldn't want to know. I don't want to know whether I'm different or not.
Yeah. So I think it depends. It depends in so I have a lot of people that ask me that. So if you do like a formal test, you can have, for example, like financial aid from the state. And this can be interesting, especially with kids. But in adults, at least here where I am, it takes a long time. It takes a long time, and often it's super expensive. And then you are tested, and then you have a label. And then what is next? What comes next? And then I don't know. I think it can be interesting, but also it can be, then you have a tag, a formal tag as well, official tag. And I don't know, in these times that we are living now, that are kind of strange times, I wouldn't do it. I'm not for formal test. Though I was tested when I was in high school uh, to see what was like the studies most indicated for my kind of personality, functioning, and so on. But that's the whole testing I've done. Then I read a lot about the subject. I did a lot of research. And when you do this, you can kind of place yourself somewhere in the spectrum.
Yeah.
And then, but for me, the important thing about knowing is to make you more comfortable with the way you are.
Yeah, to give you an explanation of why you are the way you are.
Yeah. So I cannot see everything, but
It
meaningful.
says, Nicole says,
Yeah,
thank you. Yes, that makes so much sense. It's so expensive to do the testing. And if it doesn't help treatment, it seems less meaningful unless it's for accommodations for children. Yeah, and I guess, I mean, my grandson is on a waiting list to be tested. So he's 11. So in the UK, you either pay a lot of money to be tested or you go on a waiting list. So he's on the waiting list. And he, I mean, I would say he's borderline. Maybe I said to his mum, he's ADHD because I'm comparing him to my nephew who's ADHD. She thinks he's got what used to be called Asperger's, but now they call it something else. She's a nurse. Yeah, I
so
don't know.
here it's autism. We don't call Asperger's anymore
No,
because
nor do we.
he's the
Yeah.
person that actually made everybody think that women were not autistic because it was the way he was studying it was not really. It was kind of nowadays we see it as inappropriate, to put it mildly. So in French we call it, directly translated, autistic spectrum disorder.
I think that's what they call it here now.
I find the name disorder kind of troubling.
Yeah, yeah.
But it means basically, so it's an adaptive response. So disorder, it's an adaptive response to something. So that's how I try to see the words trouble in French.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have some kind of help and a kind of school accommodations and so on, if you need to be tested for that, then go ahead and do it.
I think,
Otherwise,
and I think that's why it's a good idea, really, for him to be tested, because he's incredibly intelligent, and so he's taken the exam to go to grammar school. He doesn't know if he's been accepted yet, but even if he doesn't, if he goes to a state school, he is exceptionally intelligent. But his mum thinks he might need some specialist care at school. So it's just, I think she's doing it more to protect him than anything, so that he doesn't. But then I don't want him to stand out. So it's, it's really difficult. And it's like, I guess it's just a personal thing as to how you, how you view it.
So, yeah, I think it's very personal.
Yeah.
It's very personal, and for the parents, it's complicated. But for me, parents often, they are the parents. They have their parental instinct, and I think that's what we should be trusting. So it's the instinct that we have as a parent.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it works well. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And then maybe once don't, use it for the benefit of the child, not as to mark them out as different and why they can't do stuff, why they, can't be successful in life, because of course they can. As my cousin's daughter, who has what was Asperger's, ASD, she runs her own business. She's incredibly intelligent, and doing really well. So you can be successful.
There are many successful neurodivergent people.
Absolutely.
Actually, the very successful people, often they are neurodivergent. They know how to use it, and they use it well. So yeah.
And I think, what I was wondering also, when we talk about trauma, whether being neurodivergent is a help with trauma, because you don't, I just, and this is only my perception and I'm probably completely wrong, but I'm thinking that maybe you don't take it in the same way as maybe neuronormal, or whatever you call them, people.
Neurotypical.
Sorry, neurotypical.
normal is just a word that I can dislike. I truly dislike it.
As soon as I said it, I thought that's not the right word.
No, it's a concept it's like a statistical concept like divergent. Then we have typical and atypical. So what was your question? So if there's a connection with trauma?
Yeah, I just wondered whether a neurodivergent person looks at trauma differently, or handles it differently, I should say. Handles it differently, or does it just depend on the person?
So it's a huge subject. So often neurodivergent people, they have trauma that comes, so they have like extra layers of stress that come with being neurodiverse. So that's one thing. And often then at school, so living in society, because society does not always accommodate different personal differences very well. So another layer of stress, and this stress in a continuous way, very repetitive, it becomes trauma. So this is one thing. Then it does not mean that that the person does not solve it well and does not have like a pleasant life and so on. So this is one thing. The other thing is that being neurodivergent, it can be like genetic, but it can also be acquired. So, and often it can be like this adaptive response that comes from some kind of trauma.
Okay.
And there's a connection. So it really, you can see lots of things connecting with both. And there's someone, a trauma specialist called Gabor Mate. I don't know if you ever heard of him. So he has a book, a really nice book. He has more than one really nice book, but there is one that I really like that is called When the Body Says No. And he explains how this neurodiversity, such as ADHD and autism, it's really related to trauma, and it makes a lot of sense. However, it can also be something that is hereditary, and it's like a functioning way that runs in the family, like eye color or like physical aspects, and so on.
Yeah, I thought it must be hereditary because I think there's about 3 or 4 people in my family with some form of neurodivergency. So Nicole is asking, can you tell us more about that or refer to articles? This is very interesting on ND being caused by trauma. And then she says she'll read Gabor Mate.
Yeah, Gabor Mate. Sorry. Gabor Mate explains it really well. But then you have different approaches to different things. For example, there are different approaches for both trauma and neurodiversity that really it really overlaps. And many, it really overlaps. So, for example, primitive reflexes, that it's something that it's used a lot for neurodiverse people. When you look at it from a certain way, it can also help with trauma, because trauma can actually, oh Jesus, I cannot remember this. My vocabulary in English, sometimes I just get stuck. So, and now I forgot what I was saying. So there's a lot of overlapping, and I really forgot what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. But there's a lot of overlapping. Different types of neurodivergency.
Yeah, there's a lot
and
of
some things will spill over into others.
And different techniques also overlap.
Yeah.
So, for example, primitive reflexes are a lot used. Yes, so primitive reflexes, it's a lot used for neurodiverse people, but it can also be very interesting for trauma. And one of the techniques that I use, that is called TRE, that consists in inducing a natural body response, that it's the neurogenic tremor.
Okay.
That's very, so it's for tension and trauma and stress, and it's super efficient with neurodivergent stress, for example.
Okay.
And I really had great results with autistic and ADHD both. As often after a session, the mind is not so, you don't have like, you very easily and fast, it calms the mind down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very eloquent, sorry.
Yeah, my nephew who has ADHD, he gets very like his mind goes into a spin and he can't cope. And
Oh,
then he has to like calm himself down.
but so for example,
mm,
this kind of movements that,
yes, yeah,
so this is a way of, so it's a kind of a body response to calm the nervous system.
right,
So
yeah,
this tremoring response, it can be used to help with this and to cope. So it's a way that, so the body basically, so it's involuntary movement. So the body will do what it needs to do in order to balance itself from the inside. And it's very interesting for release, stress release. So it's kind of boosting this movement that already exists and help it so you can kind of help. It's involuntary, but you can kind of make it, it's not control but direct it,
right,
so you can kind of direct it with this tremoring.
yeah, yeah. Because animals, when
Sorry,
animals,
can I
sorry,
just
carry on.
I
Yeah,
saw Nicole's question.
yeah,
So Nicole, TRE, you can find it very easily in the USA. So there's the site that it's called TRE for all, and you can check it on Google. It's called TRE, tension and trauma release exercises. And then there's a website with different persons providing it, so you can check it out. And you can also drop me a message. I can send you the links if you want. Sorry, let's go back to.
Oh, I think all I was going to say was I think animals, when animals have been through something like maybe when a deer's been chased by a wolf or something, they will shake if they manage to escape. They will shake, and I guess it's the same sort of nervous response, isn't it?
Exactly. So there's a video on YouTube that we used a lot during the training, the TRE training, and also to explain to clients. If you check YouTube, it's called Impala tremoring, and if you
Okay.
check Impala tremoring, you'll get immediately to
Okay.
that video, and it shows the body response. And actually, I'm doing a series of videos now on my Substack about TRE. So I did the first one in French. I have some in English because I did some TRE talks with my TRE teacher about exactly TRE and neurodiversity, and also TRE, so this tremoring for chronic pain.
Right.
And yeah, so actually, I can also, if you wish, like give you my YouTube link with all these talks.
What I
About
would do is
TRE.
when the video comes out, if you just put
Yeah.
it in comments, that would be useful.
Okay, I will do that. I will do
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
because it's very, very effective, and it's really it's one of my favorite techniques to release stress. Then
Yeah.
I have others, but this one is really,
That's the one you use. Yeah.
it's like the quick fix.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
TRE for me is the quick fix for many
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. A question came up for me, again, going back to my grandson. When he gets excited about something, he walks around in circles. He cannot stand still. He's talking and he's walking around in circles, and the more excited he gets faster and faster. Is that some sort of like coping strategy as well, or? just
I
because
think
it's
so.
young. Yeah.
So our body, when we get excited, so it's a kind of a stress response as well, because it's a stress. So and there is movement that comes with it. So therefore, it's this movement. It comes with being excited, and then it's kind of involuntary to cope with everything that it's with all the excitement, actually. It can, I think it can be that.
Interesting. So with the somatic therapy then, you use TRE, so you've explained what that is. Interesting. What else do you use?
So I use somatic experiencing, where basically we are going to complete stress reactions. So when you have a stress, your body gets ready to do like a very intense movements of fight or flight or both. And then you do the movements and life goes on. However, sometimes you cannot do this movement because your autonomic nervous system estimates that you risk your life more if you run or if you fight. So it makes you freeze or fawn. Okay. And if we were in nature, once the danger is gone, our body would tremor, like that impala on YouTube. But in our society, it's not well perceived, so we don't tremor. So we have the stress. Often we don't move because it's life as we live it here. And then we don't have this release, this body release of all the charge of everything all this energy that was created for the stress response. So with somatic experiencing, that it's the technique from Peter Levine that has a book that explains all this tremoring response called Waking the Tiger.
Okay.
A great book too. One of my favorites.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. Sorry. So so what we are going to do is to complete this stress response that was paused somewhere in time and, let's say, created a stress that it's stuck in the body and that created trauma. So somatic experiencing, mainly we do that. And it's very effective as well. And the great thing is that Peter Levine, he explains everything that is also related with TRE, because he was the one explaining a lot about this tremoring response. And then David Bertelli, that created the TRE, he based a lot he based his method on Peter Levine's theory. And then Peter Levine, he has also his system. So they go really well together. And then I use another one, very interesting. It's my new favorite thing. I'm totally obsessed about it, called brain spotting.
Right, yeah.
So brain spotting is amazing.
Like train spotting.
Like train spotting, but for the brain. So the brain spotting was developed by David Grant. You can also find it, like a book about it, really great book. And it's my new favorite thing. So I'm still learning a lot about it. And it's with the eyes. So we use the eyes.
Okay.
And also very interesting results with trauma, what it's used for, but also with neurodiversity.
Okay. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was talking about EMDR, which I can't remember what that stands for now, but is that similar to that? Because that's rapid eye movements.
Yeah. So it's from outside they look close, but EMDR works with different parts of the brain. So I'm trying not to get way too technical, because I tend to go on the technicalities and then talk a lot. So EMDR is faster and brain spotting is slow.
Okay.
So it's very slow. and you don't really have a risk of reliving any traumatic experience or re-traumatizing. Okay, so there's not a risk for that, because it's very it's slow paced, and it's also based in the relation between the therapist and the client.
Yeah.
So in all this resonance, and so it's very respectful, very effective, and it's super fast. I'm working with an autistic girl now. She's I don't know how we say it in English. She doesn't speak.
Like
So
mute.
it's like social
Yeah.
mutism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would this be the name? Yeah.
Mute. Yeah.
And she's with one or two sessions, she did a lot of progress in communicating. So in the
Wow.
beginning, she was just moving her eyes with me, and now she moves her head to say yes and no. So it's great for communication. So and it was really fast. So I really see a big difference with one session, like the difference from saying yes and no with her eyes from saying yes and no with her head.
Yeah.
With movement. So yeah, so it's but I'm learning a lot. So she's very young. So I'm kind of starting now working with teenagers, children and teenagers. Yeah.
Right. Brilliant. So do you work one-to-one in a clinic setting, do you, or?
I work one-to-one in my practice. So I have my own practice.
Yeah.
And I also work online. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. And do you teach it as well, or because you said you've made some videos?
No, but I do explain a lot, because so a lot of let's go back to TRE and this tremoring response. I have many people that come to me when they arrive. They are kind of terrified with their body reactions, because we don't talk a lot about it. So they don't know what's going on, and suddenly they are terrified because it's either socially not well perceived, either associated with some kind of unpleasant experience they had, and suddenly the body starts doing strange things.
Right.
And that's why I'm doing a series of videos in order to explain how it works. And what I really wish is for people to feel comfortable with their body responses, because the body is doing what it needs to be done to get well.
Yeah.
But we tend not to perceive it very well, and then to stop it.
Yeah, because we feel, well, other people don't do it, so therefore we shouldn't do it. And you think, you're going to be judged, so you try and push it down and hide it, and that's not going to work, because it's going to come out somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So if it doesn't come out when it's trying to come out, it will someday. And then this leads to and the fact that this containment, containing all the time these body reactions, basically in the long run, it can lead to different things that are even more unpleasant, such as burnout and chronic pain and
So because I think when you're with anybody, if you're stressed, your body will tell you that it wants you to rest, slow down, take it easy. You will get these signs, like you might get lots of colds, or you might suddenly get backache, or some little things will be some ways your body will be saying, we need to slow down, we need to stop, we need to take a rest. And then if you ignore it, it'll say, okay, I'm just going to knock you out now.
Exactly.
You burn out, you become really ill.
So that's the way it happens. So it starts by sending like tiny sweet messages, and then getting louder and louder until it screams. And when even screaming doesn't work, then the body knocks out. then we understand.
Yeah.
And then we do something about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you shouldn't wait until that moment to do something about it. If we took more notice of what was going on in our body and took care of ourselves when something did occur, like instead of going to work because you've got a cold, and thinking, well, it's only a cold, I'll go to work, or I know I'm feeling ill, but I'll get through it. And I don't know what it's like at work now, but when I was working, we were always encouraged to go to work. Like, well, you can do something, can't you? You can sit at your desk, you can answer the phone, da da da. And A, you're spreading your germs all over the office, and B, you're not helping yourself at all. You're not going to get better any faster.
Yeah, I think our lifestyle in our Western society, yeah, pushes us really far, and I think this is one of the reasons, because people they have so much stress in their lives,
Absolutely, yeah.
so much stress all the time,
Yeah,
and no release, and then it just goes higher and higher, and it accumulates, and then yeah.
yeah,
And then they get sick, and they have like health problems. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When I was at work, I was on the verge of burnout. Luckily, I caught it in time because I became aware of what was going on. When I used to park my car and then get the bus into the city, so it did the park and ride. And when I found I was falling asleep on the bus going back to the car park, I thought, something isn't right here. I shouldn't be asleep before I've even got to my car. And then I got to drive home. So I decided, because what I realized was I wasn't sleeping enough. I was working late and then getting up early and starting work early and just working every hour I could possibly work. I worked. And that's the problem with work. It will expand to fill whatever time you give it. The more time you give to work, the more it will want. So just cut back. And when I cut back, I actually did better. I moved to 3 days a week in the end. So I only worked 3 days a week because I was moving towards retirement anyway. And I did more in those 3 days than I did in the 5 days when I worked nonstop. So it was ridiculous.
Because you were taking pauses and getting a good rest.
Yeah.
What makes you more productive. But I don't know why we don't apply this to everybody. People, when they can rest and when they can actually work and have pleasure in what they are doing, they are much more productive.
Yeah.
It's really important to have fun and to enjoy what we do, and to rest,
Yeah.
and to take breaks, because if we are always inside this like work bubble, without having like an outside perspective, we cannot find even like basic solutions to basic problems. It's very hard, because we don't have a different perspective of things, and we are just busy, super busy all the time.
Yeah.
And productivity, well, it gets affected.
It does, yeah. Yeah. And actually, what helped me most, I think, to be honest, was my boss changed. I had a female manager. Didn't ask for that. It was just circumstance. But as soon as I had a female manager, she was much more sympathetic to taking rest breaks rather than having a manager before that was like, where are you? What are you doing? Why aren't you working? Why have you taken the afternoon off? And, I would say, well, because I've been working from home from 7 in the morning till 1 o'clock, and I've done my day's work. So now I'm going to take the afternoon off. And they were like, you can't do that. You work 9 to 5.
Oh my God. No, I before, when I used to work for a company, it was a cool company, and I had a cool schedule, very cool. Yeah,
Yeah, good.
it was very cool. Yeah, so I was productive, and I had fun working.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just outside university, and it was super technical, and I really loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, there are good companies. So if you're in a company that is not respecting your self-worth and your health, move. go to another one. Go to one.
Yeah. But then so this was in Portugal. Then I came to Belgium. And
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. So with trauma then, because trauma, I think, is a misunderstood word. And I say that because I was talking to a client, and this was a few years ago, but she had, I think her parents, they had to escape. So her mum was pregnant with her, and they escaped. And I can't remember the country, but I think it might have been Sri Lanka, but they went to Australia because there was a war going on. So they escaped and they went to Australia. Her mum then gave birth to her. So she'd already gone through trauma before she was even born, because her mum was traumatized. And then when she was 2 years old, she had TB, and the child, and nearly died.
TB, it's
tuberculosis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then, she had a great job. She married her dream man. She had a lovely home, and she was totally miserable. So she gave it all up and left. And I just said to her about her trauma, and she was like, "What trauma? I've never had any trauma." Because people misunderstand that word. They think it's something really awful.
And that is something really awful. But no, but the thing is, there are different kinds of trauma. It's like stress. There are different kinds of stress.
Yeah.
So my cat just came in.
I saw him come in.
Let's hope she doesn't make everything fall. It's my wobbly. Okay, so there are different kinds of trauma, but the thing is, sometimes, so there is a kind of stressful traumatic event, and we do remember that it happened.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so we remember it happened, and then life goes on. But there is a part of this. So when it's trauma, it's because it's way too much for the nervous system to cope with, and there is some kind of overwhelm, and we have the memory, cognitive memory, but it also gets stuck in the body. Okay.
He's making his presence, or she is making her presence known.
Yeah. She wants mama. Yeah. So the thing with the traumatic memory, Peter Levine also explains it in a book that I think it's called Traumatic Memory. Is that it gets stuck in the body. So we live the event, we remember it cognitively, but there is this part that is stuck somewhere in the body. And then it has to be released through the body. And we don't remember it because it's implicit memory. So it's something that it's there, but we cannot remember it because it's implicit and not explicit as something that we can work cognitively. So yeah, there's a lot of people that say, no, I don't have any kind of trauma. No, I had a very happy childhood. Yeah, great. But sometimes there are things that even when we had a great childhood that were perceived as a kind of stress that was not released, got stuck in the body.
Yeah.
And so in very simple terms.
Brilliant. Okay. So I kind of run out of things to ask you, to be honest. And the cat
okay.
wants,
I'm kind of distracted.
You want your attention. So we'll finish off. But is there anything else you wanted to add before we do?
No, I'm not concentrated anymore. I'm trying not to let this fall and so on. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you, and thank you so much for doing this in English. I really appreciate it.
Let me just add that somatic, whatever you do it or wherever the technique, it's really fast because it addresses the problem in the body. So we address like this implicit memory that we cannot address cognitively by speaking. So by speaking with traditional approaches, we can understand what happens, but to actually address it and have an effective result, often we have to go through the body.
Right.
And that's why somatic, it's so interesting, somatic therapy. And it's also so fast in terms of results.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd never heard of it before, but I'm going to have a look at the books you recommended.
Yeah. So then I can leave everything in the comments. I think I have a post with all the books.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Lovely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
The cat's just walked out now.
Yeah, she left. So if you want to ask questions,
She's had enough.
You can.
Brilliant. Right.
She's like
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody that's been here. It's been great. And thanks for your questions, Nicole. It was brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.